Okay. Um, it is November the 14th, 2023. And I am at formerly Extended Stay America, now at Admiral Suites. I'm right there in Bay. And I'm starting to work out. It says it's 6:53 a.m. I mean p.m. 6:53 p.m. I just got through having and it's interesting because when I came in, let me just give a rundown of exactly what happened. So I walk into Admiral Suites, formerly Extended Stay, um, and first of all, for a very long time, I've been telling Imani to hold off on his drawings. Drawing right now is good for relaxing, but there's so many other things that we must be working on spiritually and mentally. And he pretty much agreed, and so looks like he relapsed yesterday and today. And I find it interesting because this usually brings an irritation out of me because I know the importance of us reading and using our time wisely while we're here in Annapolis. It's very important. And it's different when you work up to relaxing and doing things in such a manner where so you have worked. So we was different when you have worked up to relaxation. And in our relaxation, I think our work is suited from us is different than just going to work a 9 to 5, or even if you're an entrepreneur. Oops, let me bring it down a little bit slow. So, and we haven't worked up for him to draw, unless he's drawing to manifest in a spiritual manner, and that's important, very important. So what I'm demonstrating and trying to teach him, because I can see more, I see is how we have to use our time wisely while we're here in Annapolis. So when I walked in, there was a pale skinned guy. He usually sometimes have on a navy hat on. He usually using a walker sometimes, but he doesn't. He seemed to also sometimes be without a walker, and I thought I saw him. I could be wrong. But thought I saw him just walking like he was okay one day, but he usually have a cap. I've seen him with a cap on that says Navy, a pale skinned male. But many cars have been parked here, SUVs with Navy license plates or Army or veteran license plates. Many. So through the years, I've noticed. Um, so when I walked in, I saw one of the employees with I don't know if he's maybe from El Salvador or another place, but he usually works on things. He's the one that usually the serviceman or the service person for the hotel. Like if something breaks, they usually send him in to fix it. He could be from El Salvador, or he could be considered pale skin. I'm not sure. But he was walking down the hall a little ways in front of me while I was going towards my room with a vacuum cleaner. And it's odd because I needed a vacuum cleaner yesterday, and I couldn't get to the vacuum cleaner yesterday when I got off work. So just so happened today, the Admiral Suites, he was here when it was Extended Stay America as well. In fact, let's see, approximately 5 or 6 employees are still here that when it was called Extended Stay, now Admiral Suites. So including the general manager Jennifer. So I stopped him in the hallway because it's just so happened he had the vacuum cleaner. Yesterday I was trying to get the vacuum cleaner when I got off work, but I couldn't get the vacuum cleaner because the representative said the maid had it, and she was waiting for the maid to call back. So I went up there once or twice, and after that I fell asleep, and then I didn't go back out there. But I know the floor needed to be vacuumed. So just so happened today, the maintenance guy was walking when I got off work in front of me. And so the pale skin guy that usually have a Navy hat on was sitting in the lobby that sometimes have a Navy hat on. I remember seeing it, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure. Okay? I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure I'm definitely sure I was surprised to see him walking. Looked like he did very well. Maybe he goes through different stages where he doesn't. I don't know. But sometimes it looks like he, I don't know, someone that maybe needs a crutch or a walker. I don't know. But possibly. I don't know. I try to leave room for error. But I'm pretty sure. Try to leave room for error. So I stopped the maintenance guy and said, I need to use the vacuum cleaner, please, because it really needs to be vacuumed. And he said, we're not supposed to use lend out the new one, but I'll wait out here in the hallway. Okay, I was like, okay, thanks. All right, so I come out, I open the door. He gave me the vacuum cleaner. Monty was sitting down at the front counter. The maintenance guy, as I opened the door, he looked in. I guess he looked and saw him. He glanced at or looked at Imani, and he said, I wait out here. So I said, okay. And then I noticed that the drawing was out. And so I was like, Imani, you drew? Again, he was like, yes. And so I was irritated. And I was like, Imani, I told you, I was very irritated. But wait a minute, before that happened, I was like, I told you not to draw. And then the maintenance guy was like, have a good one. Wait a minute, let me finish. So I said, I told you not to draw. Anyway, I went ahead and vacuumed. I was irritated, very irritated, because we already had this conversation about him drawing, using the time to draw when we have so many other things to be doing spiritually, mentally, and while we're here in Annapolis. After I finished vacuuming, I was very irritated. I put the cord back, gave the maintenance guy that was waiting outside in the hallway, because he said he'll wait for it because the new vacuum cleaner is not supposed to lend that one out. I handed him the vacuum cleaner and he was like, have a good one. Okay, and I was already speaking to Imani while I was vacuuming about things in reference to that affects our spirituality and him while I was vacuuming. It's odd because someone was standing, it looked like definitely in front of the doorway. So the maintenance guy was here when I opened the door, but then there's someone that was standing on the corner where, because I saw a pale skinned hand standing on a corner while I was frustrated and speaking to Imani. And then the maintenance guy was like, as he tucked the vacuum cleaner from me, as I handed it to him, have a good one. And I said, I don't have good ones. I am not connected to the United States military. And I closed the door, and I didn't realize I closed the door a little bit hard, but I closed the door. And I continued to speak to Imani. We just had a talk about spirituality and mentalism. And and then I calmed down and I really wanted to communicate to Imani. And I was telling Imani about Elon Musk and how Elon Musk could have suspended my Twitter account, but he did not. And I was telling Imani, Elon Musk could have chose to do this because a lot of the information that I have been documenting are demonstrating acts of terrorism in Annapolis that we have experienced. And if it wasn't for me being able to document such things online, we probably would experience a lot more, especially if we among the United States military, Navy, and Army that behave already odd, but probably had no idea I was going to be someone that will speak about such things and not be ashamed. And the police here in Annapolis, it could have been a lot worse, because if you are connected in a manner, and you're among AI or robots or lab experiments that can be used to create a situation, replicate voices, and cause someone to be literally placed in jail, all the while they're the predators. They are the ones trying to rape, molest, they're stalking, they're stealing, causing harm. If they can't implement a form of murder, if they're attacking your genitals or sending sharp pains through wave frequencies to your organs, then that is a way to cause some form of harm, if allowed, murder. Because many people have to go to the hospital because of pains, aches, and disease. Many. This country is supposed to be industrialized, but it's amazing to see how many people are in medical debt here. And here I am in Annapolis speaking about sciences that could be used to attack the organs internally to cause someone to subjugate and do things that they would not normally do in their natural state. So I was telling Imani, because going back to have a good one, I spoke about this before. I was like, it seemed like like so many people in Annapolis keep saying have a good one. And one time I was at Whole Foods and I asked the cashier, I was like, is this a thing with Annapolis? Where everyone say have a good one? Are they connected to the military? When the United States Navy and Army? Because it seems like when the military is close by or around, people say have a good one. Like have a good one. So if you think about the word, those three words, have a good one, it can be used as a common saying, as in buy, or it can be used in a form of a program to signal. Like if have, so something is good and you saying have, without saying I had a good one. Islam? So I asked the cashier, a lot of times I've seen cashiers at Whole Foods seem to, they say things that does not, since especially after I documented about the African American lady saying my love, some of the cashiers will say things similar to that. I ignore it, because if I document every time and bring it to their attention, it can be very stressful for me. And it's obvious that there's a collaboration, because the United States military is prevalent here. You have African American blacks in the United States Navy and Army, pale skin, those that speak Spanish. You have the police driving around. You have the electronic devices behaving odd all of a sudden, and obviously there's humanoid robots and AI and lab experiments here in Annapolis that can control electricity, weather, and so forth. And they obviously are connected to the United States military. And then definitely they can engage to rape, molest, mental possession, thoughts, and so forth, which that is some form of radiation, Islam. So what I was telling Imani, so I did say this to when the once again the pale skin guy was at the lobby when I walked in. Usually he had the hat on that says Navy on it. And when the maintenance guy walked away, he like, have a good one. And I've been documenting, I spoke about this before. I mean, I was like, because at Burger King, there were people like, have a good one. You have a good one. Have a good one. Like, really, I was like, what's going to, so forth, and so I was like, I asked the pale skin guy, call him, this is just a description. I was like, is this a collaboration with the Annapolis? Is this something that y'all people just say here in Annapolis? And then I came across this movie and they were saying it too, but have a good one. I've heard before I came to Annapolis, but not like so many saying it. It's like I've heard a few people might say it through the years, but in Annapolis, people say it like a ritual, like it's like ritualized. So I stated I was already irritated. I said to the maintenance guys, I closed the door because he had already started. He said it, be like, have a good one. I said, I am not connected to the United States military. I don't have good ones. And I did close the door a little hard. I shouldn't have, but it's just like today at Burger King, an African-American lady who's a regular, she usually come into Burger King speaking about Jesus in the church and saying, Jesus this, Jesus that, bless you, and bless this, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus all the time, Christian, and stuff like I would hear in a Christian church, okay? And Mindy was talking to her at the front counter. She was taking a while to place an order. And then as I stepped to her, after a while, Mindy was still talking to her at the front counter. She was like, and how are you? Like that. I was like, well, I'm well. How are you? She said, and I was like, are you okay? I'm well. How are you? He's like, and I just played. And then she started saying, I see you. I said, I know. Because so many guests, I was like, you see me walking and you want to ask me for a ride? So many people in Annapolis have said this. Even just maybe a week and a half ago, this pale skinned lady, not even a week ago, I was approximately, I was at Whole Foods. She approached me inside of Whole Foods. She was like, I see you walking. I wanted to ask you if you want to ride. And I said, and I was like, yes, I know, to the customer, the African-American lady today. I was like, yes, I know. You saw me walking and you wanted to ask me for a ride. I know many residents at Annapolis want to ask me for a ride. Want to see if they can give me a ride. Then, but before she said this, it seemed as though Mindy and her was having a conversation. I never seen Mindy talk to her before, but she's come into Burger King periodically through the years, and it's always been the same words coming out of her mouth: Jesus, bless you, Jesus, and stuff like that. And praise Jesus, praise God, praise you. I don't think I have ever seen her come into Burger King without saying Jesus and all, God or Jesus or bless you or something that sounds similar to a person that that's a Christian or in Christianity. She had on a blue mask today. I don't think ever I've seen her come into Burger King. Well, even when I say thank you, choose the Burger King, she said, "Pray. How are you today?" I said, "I'm well." Praise God. Praise Jesus. So anyway, I was telling Imani, I said, Imani, Elon Musk could have suspended my Twitter account because I have documented many definitely forms of acts of terrorism Not everything on my Twitter accounts as demonstrating acts of terrorism, but many things have been demonstrated that could be acts of terrorism. And he could have, but he did not. And that says a lot to me because he didn't do it. And I not only that, me speaking about Sheep Dwayne Bethel Day, and he didn't delete my account because he doesn't know. He knows, I'm pretty sure he knows I'm a Moor. I'm naturalized, and so forth, and you are too. So that really, to me, it speaks volumes. And and I don't know. I can't say if Elon Musk is a good person. I don't know. I really don't know. And tell you the truth, I read about him yesterday, and I didn't know anything about him besides Tesla, really, and that he was rich. I didn't know, and I don't know his mind and his state of mind and his morality or integrity, so I don't know if he's wealthy. But I definitely know he's rich. So I was reading about him yesterday. Yesterday was the 13th. Today is the 14th of November, 2023. And I know that might sound odd, but I don't know. 2 years ago, when I found out, heard his name, it was about Tesla, and I didn't research Elon Musk, but I researched, I was looking into Tesla and the cars and different parts because of learning. I had a burst of energy to expand my finances, but to go and to read about the owner of, I didn't do it, but and then after seeing how AI and the robots here and lab experiments here in Annapolis behave or are being used, I was like, I don't know if I would want to buy a Tesla or any electric car in reference to electricity, and these robots can tap into. And so that's why I said in the video. But so the experience here, knowing that we're among robots that probably are in the military, United States Naval Army, they probably working in the hospitals because they've been using these AI for a long time to make people sick, spread diseases, and so forth. Because that's money. And now they've been in high demand, but they're probably more in high demand even more because those that want to get rich in a wicked way can make more money using them. So I was telling you, money, for him, Elon Musk, to not have deleted my Twitter account, especially with all the information, what I experienced here in Annapolis, it speaks volumes because if I would not been documenting, it definitely could have been a lot worse. Because when you have people collaborating together, doing things that are unlawful, and trying to normalize it, and then when they realize that they cannot normalize a form of rape, molestation, or any form of science that they're using to force engage mentally, spiritually, and so forth, then they try to think of different ways to harm the person financially, possibly, or different ways to sue. I was speaking about people saying sue for years in Annapolis. It's like we don't know anyone personally, but I'm experiencing these things. Imani and I, we don't know anyone personally in Annapolis. We never implied we want to know anyone personally, but yet the forced engagements of documentation, of me documenting and dealing with forced engagement just increased. And so if I would not have documented, I can only imagine the extreme of engagements that would have happened. So now, when I hear it sounds like people are trying to record around, I'm blaming the Admiral Suites around the room. Why would they do that? Unless they're trying to figure out a way lawfully, because if you're not able to rape, molest, and do what you have been planning to do, like I was saying, so many were saying he F-U-C-K-U, she love your son, military, the feedback in the room, we paid, then we're going to try to make it where we can either get the Moors locked up or get money from them. Nonetheless, it's demonstrating once again an implementation of acts of terrorism and different forms of unlawful behavior, trying to normalize it. Because if someone new came to a city, which it should be for anyone to come to, and they're productive citizens, if they demonstrate they don't want to have nothing to do with you, why would you care? Unless you're stealing, you involved in sex trafficking, and you're doing other things that are criminal activity, and people that are in high, that are in some form of GOVT or government are involved in doing it. Possibly. And they've been doing it for a long time. Way before Imani and I came here. So I'm going to end that with what I experienced. And I'm thankful once again for Elon Musk, because he could have. So I'm not saying he's a good person. I don't know. I just read about him yesterday, about children and his wives. I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't know. I just didn't know. And then how rich he was. I didn't even know how rich he was. Rich, it's like, okay, well, he must have money, a Tesla. But I didn't know. The article I read said he's one of the richest men on planet Earth. I didn't know. Now, I don't know if he's wealthy because I don't know him. But I am thankful. And the fact that he has not deleted my Twitter account and suspended, I was telling Imani I have a form of respect for him. And maybe he has a form of respect for me too. So, it's all.